Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Good afternoon, good morning, good night. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, heels and heelettes. This is Blunt Impact, another episode. But for the first time, we are live, which is good and bad. It means I don't have to edit the video, and it also means there might be some shit we're not supposed to say and we can't edit it out. But that's fine. That's what Blunt Impact is all about. I am your boy, Chris G. You already know I am joined by my tag team partner, the one half of the Pot Heels, the three-time baby-making champion, Ness. He has awoken out of his Mary Jane slumber from last night. Ness, how you feeling?
I'm awake.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. And we have a special guest returning on Blunt Impact. I'm pretty sure you've been on a Blunt Impact episode with us. But returning is the StatKing himself, representing Fusion of Honor. He is, of course, tag team partners with Ness as well. And he is the man of 1,004 shows. He is the man who covers Dark Power. He has like 3 or 4 different shows on that. We are talking about the StatKing. StatKing, how you feeling, brother?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be here. Glad to be talking about Impact again. It's been a while since I've been on here.
Yes, it has. A lot has changed since you have been on Blunt Impact, but it has changed for the better, and we will get into that. This is the Thursday, July 1st edition of Impact Wrestling that we will be covering. But before we get into it, guys, everybody at home, we have to tell you, please hit those thumbs up, like this video, share this video with your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your 15th grandmother, your grandmother that you didn't even meet yet. Share it with everybody. They're all going to love it. Comment on this video. Let us know, what did you think about the show? Let us know what you think about Impact Wrestling. If my hairline's crooked, let us know in the comments. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Please be part of the True Heel Heat family. We want you to be part of it. It is a big one. And we have bells. Hit those notification bells. Every time we drop a video, whether it's live, whether it's recorded, you will be notified, so you will catch the action. We also have super chats. Put in those super chats. We will read those super chats live here today. We also have another ritual before we get into this episode. Ness, do you have your Mary Jane ready?
Yes, this week I didn't eat it.
Yes.
I'm here to smoke it.
He's here to smoke it, ladies and gentlemen. I got my Mary Jane ready as well. StatKing, you are not a Mary Jane guy, but I know you got the vape. Oh my God! We are just full of surprises here. The StatKing has a joint rolled.
That's why he swore he would stay up and not fall asleep.
I mean, if I would have known this, I would have set Ness's alarm for him. StatKing got the joint.
I was sworn to secrecy. I couldn't.
That was the point.
Reason.
We wanted to surprise you while we were live.
And that was the reaction. That was very much worth it. Very much worth it.
Absolutely, definitely. Let us know in the comments if you have your Mary Jane ready. We are gonna count down to 3. Well, from 3 down to 1, and we are gonna light our Mary Jane at the same time. Ness, StatKing, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1. I didn't even get into the show yet. I know it's going to be a good one. Oh, man. Let's start off hot. We are starting off with Satoshi Kojima from New Japan Wrestling taking on his boy, his friend. They've been tagging the last few weeks, Eddie Edwards. So we thought. Eddie Edwards seems to be taking a sweet-ass time getting to the ring today. But it turns out Morrissey appears on the screen, and due to some actions from last week backstage that we kind of forgot about because we were high, Morrissey approached him backstage, said there's no friends in wrestling, and he asked Kojima who has his back. You know, who had Eddie's back? Nobody had Eddie's back while I just jumped him in the parking lot right now. So Kojima's left alone in the ring, just like everyone else. Then out of nowhere, Brian Myers comes out with his protege, Sam Beal. Take notes, kid. Tries to kick out Kojima. Kojima ain't having it. He's a New Japan dad. He will chop you to death if you try to play him like that. They try to jump him, but out comes Jake something to make the save, who has been beefing with Brian Myers and Sam Beal the last few weeks. So they set up a tag team match. The ref comes out, tells them get their asses back in the ring. We're going to start this match. So it's Brian Myers and Sam Beal versus Jake something and Kojima. Solid match. The heels dominate for the most part. They try to leave, but get dragged in, as I mentioned earlier. The babyface is just beating the shit out of Sam Beal early. He's paying his dues, brother. You know what I mean? Myers taking advantage, of course, being a heel piece of shit that he is. What else is new? He's taking advantage. He gets the upper hand. Eventually, we get a Kojima hot tag. He gets Myers in the corner, or Beal, I can't remember, and gets him with the spam chops. Yeah! And then Jake something, I think, hits a move, and they get the win. The faces stand tall. After that, we get a Jake something promo. Myers made a joke of his name. He's not having it. He challenges Myers to a match. If Brian Myers wins, Jake will say that he's the most professional wrestler. But if Jake wins, then Brian has to acknowledge him as the man and the professional wrestler that he is. We see Myers later with Beal. Take notes, kid. And he accepts the challenge. Or maybe. Or does he? I don't know. He's very condescending. Sometimes I don't know if he's being a troll or not. But it looks like we're gearing up towards that match. Ness, we'll start with you. How'd you feel about this?
This was all right. This is a nice little opener. A little bait and switchy, because we were expecting a nice little standoff between Kojima and Eddie Edwards, which probably would have been a nice little match between the two of them. Clearly, that didn't go that route. Morrissey, just making his stance in Impact at the moment. He's tired of people acting like they're friends. They're not really friends. They don't really have each other's backs. Whatever downward spiral this guy's clearly in, because he doesn't like anybody or trust anybody. But they just showed that Jake something they just show that Jake something does have the back of Kojima, and people can actually have mutual respect for each other. I'm liking Sam Beal more and more every week. He's playing that naive, goofy understudy role to Brian Myers' heel assholeness, per se. I'm also, becoming a little bit more of a fan of Brian Myers, because I hated that guy when I first started reviewing Impact, but he's definitely improved character-wise. Still not the greatest in the ring. Still hate his finisher, but he's working on it. So overall, it was a decent opener. I still want to see Eddie Edwards versus Kojima though. So before he goes back to New Japan, that's one of the matches that we definitely got to get.
Yeah, I think we'll get it soon. Sam Beal's he's like the poor Mizdow right now. The poor man's Damien Mizdow. StatKing, how'd you feel about this opening segment?
Man, at first I felt a little cheated because I wanted Eddie Edwards versus Kojima. But then this actually kind of got me around. This one was good. I like that the heels definitely dominated throughout. Then that little quick flurry from the baby faces, and that's all it takes. And seeing Kojima in Impact is kind of interesting. Just for you're not expecting him, so that's always really cool. And I just hope we get that Eddie Edwards match soon.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming. It's coming. They got to build it up. That would be nice for Slammiversary. I don't think Eddie Edwards has anything to do right now. Maybe we could get that on the card. Next up, we got Scott D'Amore. He has an interview backstage with Gia Miller. He's talking about what happened last week. And then out of nowhere, he finds a tarot card in his pocket. The Brujeria card, as I like to call it. And Rosemary and Havoc appear like in a flashlight. And it appears they want a title shot. They've been on a roll lately. Fire and Flavor's been kind of, busting their chops or whatnot. So Scott's going to take it under advisement. Next time, just knock on the door. Let's have a convo. Don't show up in the Brujeria shit. And then we get some creepy laughs, some play us out. Then we see Fire and Flavor later. They're not happy with the tag match consideration. They earned their spot as two-time Knockouts Tag Team Champions, while the other team hasn't. They ain't even a real team. They're going to go talk to Scott. As soon as Scott comes out of his office, that motherfucker tries to run right back in because he sees Fire and Flavor coming. But nope, they get him just in time. Y'all the champs. Y'all don't got to worry about nothing. Put those titles up. Keeping it current in the comments. Glad to see this Fusion of Honor meets Pot Heels collabo. Yes. We will think of a name. It'll come sooner or later. The name will just pop up randomly. We'll give ourselves a stable name sooner or later. But StatKing, let's start with you. Just some funny interaction. How do you feel about the Knockouts women's division, the tag team division?
I mean, it's pretty strong, especially we see later that Susan and Kimberly are talking about maybe going after the tag titles. But lastly, I haven't watched Impact in a while, and last I remember, Rosemary was trying to get back at Havoc. So the fact that now the storylines progress where they are now a team together, that's pretty cool. I didn't know how that was going to play out. So now seeing it, that's pretty nice. But this was it almost feels bad for the heels. That's the only thing that was weird to me about it. It just felt kind of bad for them.
I could see that. Our good brother True Hill SP3, the show was overall very solid. We agree. He also wanted to see Kojima versus Edwards, so a little disappointed with the opener. I get it, the bait and switch. But because they did the bait and switch, I think there's a possibility we could get this at Slammiversary. And because I can't think right off the head if Eddie Edwards got anything going on at Slammiversary, which I don't think he does. So why not just plug that match in there? Ness, how'd you feel about this?
I like it. Y'all already said how much I like the idea of Havoc and Rosemary become a team. They pretty much kind of fall in line, like the same gimmick, somewhat of a similar style. Havoc just being a little bit more powerful, being the bigger of the two. Fire and Flavor, man, you already know I'm a mark for them. They're all like, oh, we had to earn our spot. We had to go out there and show we could actually we even earn a Knockouts Tag Team Championship shot, and then we just have to go out there above and beyond and show that we are the best. So I'm definitely ready to see that match. A fan of whoever goes, because that's what happens when you actually have a solid book division regarding your women. Yeah, because I was going to go off on a tangent, but I'm not. I'm going to spare you guys. This is Blood Impact. I'm not going to talk about what happens on NXT.
I thought you were about to say Ring of Honor.
Oh, man, that's a whole nother. Well, they're doing their shit. They're even doing better in NXT at this point with their women's division. Maybe not better talent, but just
hey, if you wanted to talk about NXT, you should have fucking woke up yesterday. All right, pal?
That is a very good point.
No, just joking. I get what you're saying. That's a very stacked division compared to this division. But this division is growing, so it's good to see it growing at least. Because next up, we got Tennille Dashwood with Caleb with a K, and she is going up against Rachel Ellering. She's been trying to recruit Rachel the last couple of weeks, but to no avail. Rachel's technically, still in a tag with Jordan Grace, even though they're having their differences right now. And Jazz is out to support Rachel Ellering. Tennille, she's out to a hot start, talking shit. But Rachel's not having it. They're fighting back and forth a little bit. Rachel kicks the shit out of Caleb K. Kicks him into next week when he's on the ropes. But because of that distraction, Tennille takes advantage. Cut to a commercial break. Tennille's dominating the match. Turns into a nice back and forth, hard-hitting action. Rachel reverses a nice sunset flip bomb for the win. Tennille attacks her afterwards. Caleb tries to get involved, but Jazz, tries to stop him. She holds Jazz back, or he holds Jazz back. Jazz kicks Tennille. They're fighting him off, trying to, but out comes Jordan Grace to make the save. Rachel Ellering puts her hand out to say thank you, but Jordan snacks her hand away. But she doesn't strike her. She gives her a nice hug. We didn't get the heel turn that we wanted. Not yet anyway. I'm actually happy with this. Yeah. I'm happy with this because it's just more story development. I feel like they were dragging it, but to tease it and then not go the route and just make them a cohesive unit again. Maybe you could build them back up. We have another tag team running them, and then you could do the turn. We'll see what happens. Ness, what do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, I actually like that they didn't go full blown heel turn with Jordan and then I agree, like they don't have to go for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships immediately. Let them build up those wins. Let Jordan officially get her confidence back. Give her time to actually get to there. If they continue to go with the whole heel turn route, then this will be give her let's just say they go for the titles and they don't win. Maybe that could jump like, oh, it's always been me. Maybe it's you. And that could be a whole nother dynamic they add to the story. But for right now, it's good that they didn't split up an actual decent team, which you literally just brought them together. So why the fuck would you break them up like a couple months into it? But I mean, I know it happens in wrestling all the time, but this was like like one of the best pairings of two singles stars together as far as in the knockouts division. Like they just work together so well. And I'm pretty sure they'll have even better singles matches. But like right now, just let them be, a tag team, be a cohesive unit. Shit, they already brought Jazz back into the story. Let her come out as their manager now. Like it's everybody can do something in this pairing. But this is like one of the better showings, I think, of Tenille. She didn't seem like she was joking around. She meant business. I love that out of her. Like they need to show that side of her a little bit more often because like that was just like, oof. I can see her possibly winning this match. And she didn't feel like a joke because like her gimmick, she's always all about her. She really just seemed like she was out there trying to gain this victory than more so just show off Tenille Dashwood. Like it just seemed like she was trying to inflict a lot of hurt to Rachel Ellering. And I don't have that feeling towards her matches like that quite often. But overall, this was a great segment from the match to the post-match segment. I enjoyed it all.
Yeah, I think she's been more aggressive lately. So it's definitely starting to come together for Tenille Dashwood. But StatKing, how do you feel about this, and how do you feel about Rachel Ellering?
Rachel Ellering's somebody that I don't really know that well. Like I remember seeing her in Mae Young Classics, but outside of that, I never really knew her that much. So seeing her in the ring she's got. I mean, she did. I think she appeared at one time on AEW, but this is just a match where like you learn a lot about who she's in the ring with who Tenille's in the ring with because I know Tenille Dashwood very well from her days in WWE. She's definitely progressed forward, but I'm able to see a lot of Rachel Ellering because she's able to work so well with Tenille. So learned a lot today.
Yeah, I think Rachel's definitely an underrated woman's worker. Like, from what I've seen from her so far, she's good. She's good. So it's exciting to see in that division. Next up, we got to talk about this. This is not the main event, but this is one of the centerpieces of the episode. We big booked this shit. We kind of big booked this. We're going to take advantage. Shout out to SP3 for the name of this episode. We're going to get into it. We have a Chris Bay interview. Talks about last week taking selfies, vlogging and shit while everybody's rolling in the ring. Said, listen, just staying in his lane. That's it. He just wants to stay in his lane and get that gold at Slammiversary. Then we got this new posse, Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, Rohit Raju, Shera. They pull up on him, and he thinks he's getting recruited. Like, I know y'all want me. You see what I did last week? But no, you're wrong. We ain't recruiting you. We don't need you. We got muscle already. But we want to thank you for staying in your lane, staying out of our business. As long as you stay in your lane, be a good little boy, you be all right. Chris Bay says, Gia, you always instigating. Good line. The next up, this leads into a match, Chris Bay versus Petey Williams. Solid match, back and forth, X-Division type match. A lot of smooth, crisp counters. These guys work really well together. Petey Williams has been doing this for a long time. He still works pretty fast, pretty smooth for a guy who's been up there in ring years, if you know what I mean. The heels come up. We first of all, Chris Bay hits the cutter, a regular cutter, and then the ultimate finesser for the win. After this, the heels come out. And they start beating up Petey Williams. They leave Chris Bay alone. They come out, just start beating the brakes out of Petey Williams. Ace tells Chris, kick rocks, con chancletas on. Go do what you got to do. Trey and Josh try to come out and make the save. Chris Bay conflicted on the stage, doesn't know what he wants to do. He runs back into the ring, goes up to the ropes, missile dropkick on Cheryl. He helps the baby faces. They clear the ring. They get Ace Austin by himself. They Jazzy Jeff his ass straight out the ring. We have a baby face turn by Chris Bay. We booked it. I don't want to hear it. Impact, give us our credit. We booked this shit. But no, it was cool. It was cool to see, man, because he has an exciting style. He has a nice babyface style. His persona, he's cocky. He can get away with it as a babyface if he does it right, which I'm sure he can. He is talented enough to do it. I think we've seen enough of him to this point to have enough faith in Chris Bay's talents. But yeah, man, it's just exciting. Now it makes me think about this Ultimate X match. Was what's next? You know what I mean? StatKing, we'll start with you. How'd you feel about the match, and how'd you feel about this turn for Chris Bay?
Oh, I like the match. I mean, it's kind of sad when everybody uses a Canadian Destroyer now as a signature move or just a regular thing. Petey Williams is still there. Like, no, this is my finisher. This is two. No, it's supposed to be a 3. The ref gets confused. He doesn't know what's going on. But no, the match is really good. Chris Bay is definitely a talent in the ring. That dude can bounce and fly all over the place. So this is a nice match. I like what you said, X Division match for sure. It's definitely got that vibe to it.
What about you, Ness? How'd you feel about this?
Yeah, this was a great match. I think both of these guys can have great matches with anyone. And so X Division is my favorite division. They went out there. They definitely had one of the better matches of the night. We bait booked it, you know. The BEY-BYFACE turn. Gotta say it right. I'm just ready to see Chris Bay as babyface now. I was already a fan, but now there's some people that really take the character work. That's one of their top priorities in talent. So I think that he's going to be able to. We already seen him as a heel. I'm pretty sure, like you said, the cockiness, but he's still like a babyface about it. He could definitely pull that off. I don't want to give the comparison, but because that kind of reminds me of, I'll say like a Shawn Michaels. I'm not saying he's like a Shawn Michaels, but you know how much of an asshole heel that Shawn Michaels is, and then that cocky babyface that he can be, that he just thinks he's better than everyone else. And I definitely feel that way about Chris Bay. So, and if he wins Ultimate X, I'm happy. I'm with that too.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a crazy match. We'll get into those predictions probably next week before Slammiversary. But yeah, man, good things coming for Chris Bay, I hope. Yeah. Next up, we got TJP and Fallah Bah taking on Willie Mack and Rich Swann in a tag team match. Everybody's dancing to Swann's entrance music. TJP and Fallah Bah included in the ring, getting down. But this was a cool, fast-paced back-and-forth match. Surprisingly, Fallah Bah could move for a big dude. Willie Mack, of course, could move for a big dude.
Pick his big ass up. Fallah Bah is like 500 pounds.
Yeah, Willie Mack got some strength to him. We get an early stalemate between the teams. That was pretty cool. Swann hits a nice dive from the top of the ropes onto the outside. And out of nowhere, Violent by Design comes out and just kills everybody. I mean, Joe Doring taking out Rich Swann. Rich Swann will wake up tomorrow. It's fine. Rhino's goring the shit out of people. Even Dina's getting in on the action, choking out T. That was a nice DDT. I thought he might as well choke him out. I thought he was choking him out. Yeah, just good way to bring in Violent by Design and just cause destruction. No more contenders for this. It's basically saying, who's going to stop us? If you want this shit, come get us. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm here for it. Ness, you here for it?
Of course. I big booked this shit. I big booked Violent by Design. So I'm definitely here for it. But nah, the craziest thing, I swear to you not, I'm watching this match, and I'm like, obviously, this is going to be for I shot at the tag titles. So I'm like, Swann's in this match. Swann just beat Eric Young to become Impact World Champion. So I'm like, okay, so will he beat by Design to become Impact Tag Team Champion? Next thing you know, Violent by Design comes out, puts in all that shit. So I'm like, yo, this is great. This is perfect. But like you said, the match was fun for most of what we saw. They had nice little spots. Both teams, even Fallah Bah, he looked decent in this match as well. But yeah, man, it's pretty probably there might be a 4-on-4 8-man match at what you call it, Slammiversary.
Anniversary.
Yeah, Slammiversary between the two teams. You know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is fun. This is a nice little fun match.
I mean, I'd rather see a tag team match. Maybe they could just do a 3-way tag match.
That's what
They might even pull out a 4-way tag match, and we might have a surprise tag team joining.
Yeah,
Slammiversary, man. You never know. Live crowd pull out a fatal 4-way surprise tag team match. They did it with Motor City Machine Guns. What was it, last year? Slammiversary.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you never know, man. You never know. I'm here for it. StatKing, your thoughts?
I thought multi-man match for Slammiversary after this one, because I'm just thinking you're attacking two teams, just do like a triple threat, just do that. But one thing I gotta say, I like because I remember last year all of the this isn't their world, it's ours, all the promos for Eric Young, and to see like that. How he came into back to Impact, how he's built with Impact, got Violent by Design. Now they got the tag titles. That was something that was really cool to just be reminded of. Like they got to put a little bit of respect on Eric Young's name. He pulled together some really, really sick groups.
Yeah, I like it. Eric Young is a low key faction god. No one really knows it. Underrated faction god. We got a segment down backstage with Susan and Kimberly. Where you got the fucking creepy cameraman coming around the angle, around the wall again, like he's just
like a
spine on.
I miss those backstage segments, like where the guy is so creepy coming around the corner, just like
It's
zooming in
always
on people.
women too. You creepy fuck. Just get in there, you stooge.
Only on Access TV.
Only on Access. Thank you, Mark Cuban. I love Mark Cuban. Susan, she's about to lose her shit because Deonna Purrazzo beat her. Deonna Purrazzo also beat Kimberly on BTI before the Impact. And Kimberly says calm down. She wants to go for the tag team titles. But there's always the backup plan. What's the backup plan? Su Yung. Susan goes, who's that? It's you, bitch. No. Susan gonna turn into Su Yung again. I hope so. I hope it's coming soon. Even though I like Susan, Susan's a funny character, but Su Yung is always cool to see, especially in front of a live crowd. Slammiversary. Never know if they might even pull off a multi-woman Slammiversary tag team match. Who knows? Ness, how'd you feel about this?
This was interesting. To say the least. I don't know if I'm ready to see Susan go. You know, I kind of like the Susan character, but you know, I'll Su Yung is where it's at. But I don't know. As much as I hate, like she's pretty much a Karen. As much as I hate Karens, that type of shit, Su Yung is definitely, or Susan has definitely nailed this role. Like last week, she was like, "Professional wrestle me." Like who talks like that? Like who does that? But it's like to see her get beat up as like that character, that entity. Like it's entertaining. It's very entertaining. So like I don't know. Maybe this will be the what needs to happen to dethrone Deonna, but they're not going to dethrone the Demon Slayer at this moment in time.
No. Depends. Honestly, I think it depends what happened at Slammiversary.
Well,
I could see a few returns. I'm pretty sure Chelsea Green's coming. They just had like a whole 1 hour best of Laurel Van Ness this week.
That's usually what they do too.
They were promoting it. They were promoting it again during this episode.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure she'll make a return. She's another contender. It's pretty good, you know, as long as she stays healthy, man. Poor girl's been getting hurt every time she goes out there. And then you got the possibility of Mickie James too with the trash bag shit that's been going on. So I wouldn't be surprised to see either one of them. She works for NWA, but I'm pretty sure she could still appear for Impact. So StatKing, how'd you feel?
I think when Susan said, who's that? That might have been like the best, funniest moment of the night for me. She's just like the lack of self-awareness, the lack of knowledge. But yeah, this has been crazy. Deanna still has the belt. That's insane. Who's gonna be the person to beat her if everybody's fallen? That's gonna be kind of cool to see, man.
Yeah, brings up the question. Hopefully it's somebody good that answers. Which I'm sure it will be.
Watch if it's Lana though.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, I wouldn't. I mean, she ain't gonna win the title.
I know.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Lana show up.
I'll quit this show.
If Lana shows up in Impact,
I will not watch Impact no more if they pull that.
She lives in Nashville. They live in Nashville. Her and Miro live in Nashville.
Ness, you've been watching WWE this whole time, and she was there, so you'll be all right.
She's not terrible. She's good at what you give her. It's just WWE just didn't give a fuck about her after she blew up her wedding.
I watch NXT.
Let's keep it real.
I watch NXT.
I watch NXT.
Exactly. I don't watch Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, we could talk about that on NXT. Not really. And we also got, speaking of NXT, we got an NXT standout. Now in Impact, Steve Macklin, and he has a match against
the Segway game, yo. Folks, this has nothing to do with the actual show.
Yeah, I know what he's about.
Both of these guys are the king of segues. Like, they just know how to move right into the next topic of the show. Like, I work with both of them. I give them both props on both every time we do the show, and they just, all right, yeah, back into this. I'm like, yo, that was fucking great.
I learned, I learned from our producer. Romeo Anthony Colon, and of course the big man SP3, Segway Kings. But Steve Macklin, you gotta give these guys their credit.
Definitely, hell yeah.
Steve Macklin taking on, I think his name was Tony Jabroni, or Manny Smith. I think that's what they called him. That's what it said on his trunks. Steve Macklin killed him. He put him in the tree of woe position and just hit. He threw himself like a lawn dart, just like killed him in the corner. I thought it was sick. He just elbowed the life out of him. Hits his finisher 1, 2, 3. He's looking aggressive. The promos and the vignettes that he had the last few weeks prior to this were cool. I mean, I'm excited. I want to see what his first match is or his first feud is. And I mean, I'm pretty sure, he could have a decent match. Just based on what I've seen, I got faith in him. So I hope his first feud is with somebody important. StatKing, your first taste of Steve Macklin, how'd you feel? Oh, pause. We're live. We can't even fucking cut that out. Jesus. Damn.
We're live, pal.
Always. It never fails. Romeo's dying backstage. StatKing, how you feel about Steve Macklin?
I wish I know that you wish that you could be a forgotten son right now. But only Steve Macklin has that ability to be able to look back in time and say, I used to be a forgotten son. But here he is, not being forgotten. This man's getting like a big push coming into Impact. It feels like when Brian Myers first showed up. It feels like that kind of push, even more, maybe not that level in the sense of we know kind of where Brian Myers is going to go, but maybe more of the Eric Young, like, this guy is being treated like a big deal. He put his hands on the ref at one point, didn't he? It was getting in the ref's face.
He told him back the fuck up.
Yeah, that was really nice. You don't always see that that all classic heel, the classic old school heel, like willing to get in the ref's face, willing to argue and do all that. That was a good refreshing moment in wrestling.
Ness?
Another nice showing. Pretty much what we seen last week. I'm ready for a feud as well. Like, I like what I see here way better than whatever I saw in WWE when he was there. I think, again, a lot of people that were underutilized in NXT when there were bigger names, going around. Well, he just had a bad shot. Forgotten Sons. I hated them. When I did Ness XT, I fucking hated the Forgotten Sons. They were just probably my LVPs every night. Nobody gives a fuck about the Forgotten Sons. But here, away from, which didn't work for him, Steve Macklin looks way better. He looks weight. I think he probably gained a little bit more weight. He looks like a threat. I just want to see where it goes as far as the character development and like who he can work with. I just want to see more than just the usual squash matches. Like, I want to see him like work a match against other top tier Impact talent. I think he deserves that chance from what I'm seeing. This whole new presentation of him is way better than what I've seen him do in NXT and whatever else. It didn't work there, but it's working here for him.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with him so far. So once again, another example of outside of the WWE bubble, when you got some time to be yourself, you actually flourish a little bit. You know what I mean? So I'm here for it. We're going to go into the main event. Before we do, Tommy Dreamer has an interview. The only guy on his team that he likes that's fighting tonight in the main event is Chris Sabin. Sabin hates Moose's guts. None of them trust Sami Callihan. All Moose cares about is winning. Remember that. Sami, Moose, they argue about who has a bigger issue with the Elite, but this is bigger than them. This is about Impact. This is about holding down Tommy Dreamer. So for the main event, we get Team Callis, which is the Elite, the Good Brothers, and Kenny Omega. Kenny by God Omega, all dripping in gold, all holding Kenny's titles. Look at Don Callis with the Triple A Mega Championship. He had a nice little introduction promo for Kenny Omega, getting that heat. Starting off early, we got some tension between Sabin and Moose. Kenny Omega wanted nothing to do with Sami Callihan. They're saving that for Slammiversary. But the heels dominated most of the match. We had a nice triple slam on Sabin, where Kenny Omega basically piggybacked Doc Gallows, and then Carl Anderson jumped on them, and they squashed Sabin, turned him into some salami. Kenny's just doing what Kenny does. Sabin eventually gets away, tries to tag Moose, but Moose hits him with the cha-cha slide. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Does not tag in. Sabin's left by himself. Eventually, Sami comes in, but he gets low-blowed by the machine gun. So he gets his ass out. Chris Sabin gets back in. He basically takes out the Elite by himself. As he's about to finish Kenny Omega, Moose tags himself in without Chris Sabin knows. He pulls down Kenny Omega off Chris Sabin's shoulders, tells him to get into the apron. He tagged himself and get the fuck back. Chris Sabin's not happy about it. But he follows, he obliges because he wants to win, gets back onto the apron. And then Moose tags him back in, but just ragdolls his ass back into the ring and then leaves. As he's leaving, Tommy Dreamer approaches him, asks him what's going on. Moose tells him, back up, get out of my face. He walks away, but as he's walking away, Don Callis comes and pushes Tommy Dreamer into Moose. So Moose kills Tommy Dreamer, or tries to, but he has one nice clothes on. And then Chris Sabin takes out Moose. This little distraction, as soon as Sabin gets back into the ring, he gets taken out by the Elite. They get the win as Moose watches from the apron. A lot to digest here. Just setting up all feuds heading in to Slammiversary. A good main event. I liked it. Nothing crazy. We want to save Kenny and Sami. I get it. We've already seen Kenny and Moose, but we want to save that too. So we got a little bit of Kenny and Sabin, which was cool. But just the Good Brothers healing it up. The tension. I wasn't really interested in Chris Sabin and Moose, but now I am. Now the shit feels kind of personal. So they did a good job there. Poor Tommy Dreamer. StatKing, how'd you feel about this?
Tommy Dreamer, always getting the short end of the kendo stick, I guess. This was a good one. This was a good one because they had a lot of moving parts they had to take care of. A lot of different feuds, a lot of different things. So you have the classic moment where you take two guys, hate each other's guts, put them on a multi-man team, and that problem is going to be the thing that helps cause the loss. Classic thing to do. But very well done here, especially because they got a pay-per-view coming up. They got to find a way to work all these things in here. and still try to save matches and still try to have certain guys not touch. So Moose and Sabin did a good job of like having that level of physicality. Like he did just ragdoll him, but like they have that level of physicality, but still you're like, I want to see what happens at Slammiversary between the two of them. And with Kenny and Sami, Kenny's basically just like running, getting out of the ring and going running at points. So this was a well done there, keeping them away from each other. And like you said, because of that, we got to get a lot of Kenny and Chris Sabin, but they killed it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I just realized I kind of not making the super comparison, but Moose kind of gives me those Tribal Chief vibes, that Roman Reigns acknowledge me shit. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be acknowledged as the man. And goes around just it's all business, just wants to beat motherfuckers up.
And start and his entrance coming out at the beginning part, Carmen Basura. That's that song. That's
I mean,
all
everything.
Of that.
Everything.
It's all got
the
that,
lighting, the presentation. I mean, he just looks like a star. So once they finally put the title on him, it's gonna be, for lack of a better word, glorious. Ness, how'd you feel about this?
Yeah, this was pretty interesting. We already knew there was too many combustible elements, and that was just coming from the same team. Then you had to factor in your actual opponents, you know. So it was just a lot going on. Decent match. I'm here for the story. Far as they had to save Sami and Kenny. Of course, Kenny doesn't want to get injured or deal with Sami whatsoever. Don Callis, instigator on instigators, the invisible hand. Ironic because nobody's seen him push Tommy Dreamer. So that's exactly how that worked out. Yeah, man, it's just a lot of shit going on. And again, that's all from the people that are on the same team. We don't even need to factor in Kenny Omega, Don Callis, any of those guys. Sabin doesn't like Moose. Dreamer really doesn't like Moose. Nobody really likes Sami or trusts him. Nobody like anybody.
No, he don't like nobody.
Yeah, nobody like nobody except for Chris Sabin and Tommy Dreamer. Like that's just the only combination that works out of that whole group of individuals. So clearly there was going to be some discrepancies. And the shit with Moose, because he's Mr. I want to win. He is the deliberate reason why they did not win this match. So that's just hilarious to see that play out. Because just like at I forgot the pay-per-view. I smoked, I forgot. But the 6-man match that it was Moose, Rich Swann, and who was it? Fuck.
I think it was against Outlaw. No.
It was against Kenny and the Good Brothers. But in that match, you know, he tried to win that match. He had problems with Rich Swann. They were both, you know, vying for the world, the Impact World title. But like they still had beef, but he still wanted to defeat Kenny Omega. And this match, he didn't give a fuck about Chris Sabin, fed him to the wolves for the most part, and took out Tommy Dreamer. Like he took out his teammates. So yeah.
Yeah. It's a good way to cap it.
I was gonna say the only thing that kind of sucks about doing a lot of things pre-tape is that Wednesday, Omega has really interesting facial hair, and somehow Thursday it's just back to normal. It's just weird.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Yeah, the only thing. I wonder if he's gonna show. No, I doubt it. He's not gonna show up with any pre-tapes with a fucking beard. That would be funny though if he did on Impact. But it was a good way to cap off that episode. We're gonna start it here, right here and now. We're gonna put our thumbs out. We're going to put them up, down, or in the middle, depending on how we feel about this show. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Solid show.
It's unanimous.
Solid action all around. Good threading of the stories going into Slammiversary. Match of the night. Going to have to go Chris Bay and Petey Williams. Unanimous?
I could maybe see the Rachel Tenille. I could
Rachel Tenille was good.
Maybe see the Rachel Tenille, but no, I'm gonna go with you.
That was a good match too. Can't go wrong with either one. MVP? I don't know. Can't give it a Moose. Fucking hot dog in his team.
Can't go to Tommy Dreamer either.
Can't go to Tommy
Dreamer for thinking a team that he put together is going to do anything.
Yeah. No, bad management, bad GM skills. They sent you to overlook. They sent you to be a consultant and overlook this company. You pull a move like this on your like third day, fucking go back, man. Put in your title. Just become a wrestler again. But MVP, we're not talking about Jabroni tonight. MVP. I'm going to have to go with Chris Bay, man. You look like the star after this, right?
Yeah.
Nice baby face turn. And got some momentum going into Slammiversary. Why not? I'll go with Chris Bay. What about you, Ness?
Yeah, it's gonna be unanimous again, man. Chris Bay. Like,
same, unanimous.
Jabroni of the night. Okay, might as well give it to Tommy Dreamer at this point. I'm sorry, Tommy, come on, man. You was poor management skills.
There's
the Y2K team. Shit.
There is the poor bastard that was up against Macklin.
Oh, Tony Jabroni. Yeah. No, I mean they could be tied. We could tie them. We could put them 1A and 1B for Jabroni tonight.
Yeah, he gets the jobber gets honorable mention.
Yes, the jobber, the Jabroni honorable mention.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode of Impact Wrestling, guys. Fun episode of Blunt Impact. Thank you, StatKing, for joining us here for another episode. Thank you to our producer backstage for holding us down. Thank you to the people at home watching us live. StatKing, where can we find you at?
You guys can catch me on Dark Power, covering AEW Dark, AEW Elevation, and NWA Power. And of course, I am one half with my co-host right here, Ness, the three-time baby-making champ on Fusion of Honor, where we review MLW Fusion and Ring of Honor.
Ness, where can we find you at?
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at skinny__Kravitz. Right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. You catch me on Fusion of Honor, with once again the StatKing, the man with 1,004 numbers, where we review MLW Fusion and Ring of Honor. You catch me right here on Blunt Impact and Joseph Jabroni's with my man Chris G, performing the Pot Heels, reviewing Impact Wrestling. You can catch me once again with Chris G and RAC and the Place to Be on NX3, where we review NXT, the bars. True Hill Heat, baby. That's where we at. Oh, as I just said on the last episode of Fusion of Honor, I know I say we come back, but we ain't gonna be back for a while. You can hear me on True Toxicity. My illustrious voice on True Toxicity.
We taking the summer off. It's a summer break. Summer break.
Yeah.
We just put it like that. You can catch me at True Hill Chris G. You can also find me here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Blunt Impact, Joints and Jabronis, my man, the three-time baby-making champion Ness. And NX3, of course, with our good brother Romeo Anthony Colon. And every once in a while, Roundtable special. Who knows? You might even catch me on True Rewind one day when it comes back. Might even catch me in an episode of Dark Power if I could fit in 45 hours of wrestling in 3 days. We'll find out. My girlfriend laughed in the back because she knows it's fucking impossible. But yes, good times. Thank you, StatKing, for being with us again.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ness, for waking up. Thank you, good people at home. The StatKing for the three-time baby-making champion Ness.
Everybody knows I just be sleeping all the fucking time.
It's the weed naps. It's the weed naps. And for our co-host, Mary Jane, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, True Heel Heat. Hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Yes, sir. Hit those bells. Get those notifications. Bump the budget. So I like this border. It's better than my kindergarten fucking editing. It's dope. Let's keep going live, guys. We will see you guys next week for another episode of Blunt Impact.
Peace.